Sherry, quick question.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Are you coming to the TDA Summit?
I am.
Okay, cool. I thought I was going to count on you for help.
You can count on me. I'll be there.
Yeah. Hold on one second, Sherry.
Sure. We'll give him a minute to get back with us. Good morning. I'm trying to get software up here. Excuse me. Good morning and welcome to day 13 of our second annual WSOP Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pluskota, and my co-host, as soon as I can get him up here, is Brian Pincus. Please be reminded you can find the past recordings of our spaces on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. And many thanks to our sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor-made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. Brian, are you there?
Yeah, how are you doing, Sherry?
I'm doing well, thanks. We gearing up for a game of poker, or what are we doing today?
Yeah, today's the day. We're gonna go in there and run up a stack and make it to day 2. That's the plan.
Oh, that's awesome! And tell me or tell us about yesterday. What did you do? I heard you having some fun. I was in the space yesterday when you were with Joe having some fun. So tell us about your poker and your fun yesterday.
Yeah, I was a little too tired to be honest. I went in on I went in on kind of like I always say that never listen to gangster rap. That probably should have been on my headphones because I was like firing every pot. And after about like the 8th time in a row bluffing people off their hands, they start to not to believe you. So, but I had fun. I had fun, Sherry. So
There you go, and maybe learned a little lesson.
yeah, no, I have to slow down. Attack.
Well, what did you do after the tournament?
So Joe helped me out. He went and met me over here, picked up some stuff and grabbed some groceries and stuff, and then we went and grabbed some food.
Awesome.
And I was able to stay up late enough that I didn't wreck my whole sleeping schedule, so that's good. Got a good night's sleep, feel ready to go today. So
Awesome. Well, just want to let you know your microphone does not sound very good this morning.
yeah, I'm trying to get this thing to connect, so let me work on that.
Okay. Well, all right. While you do that, I'm going to say good morning to Fats. How are you, bud?
Good morning, Sherry. Rough night in the poker. Well, not a rough night. Good night, I guess, in the poker league. I got 5th last night. Moved to within 2 points of hex.
Uh-oh. The war has begun. Dun, dun, dun.
I took two horrific beats last night, too. During the course of the night, I flopped the set twice. Once against Ace King and once against King Queen. And they flopped like their top pair, and then they came Ace King and King Queen turn river both times to beat. Like the cards, we got it all in. The cards came up, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." And all of a sudden, like I look over, and all the chips went to the other guy.
Ouch! Sorry, bud. Hate to hear it, but we all have had those bad beat stories. And who took first place and second place, sir?
Had a few times and worked my way up to 5th.
Oh, well, did you hear my question, Fats? I asked who won it and who came in second.
Blitz won, and I think Jordan came in second.
Good for them. Has Blitz won that tournament before? Am I making that up?
No, he hasn't won first place, but he's definitely. But he's been up there in the. He's cashed
Okay.
and accumulated
All
points.
right. Well, very good. Good luck in next week. You guys are getting near the end of that.
3 weeks left.
Yeah. So you and Hex are neck and neck, and who's at the top of the heap?
It's Hex, then me, and then I think. I was just looking at it. And let me see if I get.
Wait a minute. You mean Hex moved into first place?
He already was in first place,
Okay.
but he made the final table also. He went out 8th, and I picked up. He was only had like an 8-point lead on me or something, and I picked up 6 points or something like that.
Oh, for some reason I thought somebody else was in the lead, but that must have been the week before. So good luck to you guys.
No, yeah, last week, because last week Hex won first.
Oh, got it.
I'm up there. I don't think I've ever finished. I think I have maybe a 3rd and 2/5 or something, but I haven't won one yet.
Got it. Well, you're threatening, that's for sure. And 3 weeks are left, and it's anybody's championship. So good for you guys.
Yeah, I'm just there to keep them honest.
Oh, that's scary. But we're going to move on and welcome Donna this morning. How are you, Donna?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How's everybody? Hi, Matt. Hi, Brian. Hey, Farts.
Hi, Donna.
Can you understand me today, then, Farts?
Yes, I can understand you today. Are you using like a voice synthesizer or something so that we can hear you clearly?
No, I'm on my laptop.
She's sober. I mean, she's just more awake.
She's on you're on your laptop.
I'm on my laptop.
Her laptop.
Your laptop.
All right, you guys, we're gonna get this.
Are you on your laptop eating a lollipop?
Bats, I'm gonna let your tires down and steal your battery so you can't go anywhere.
Uh-oh. All right, we're gonna move on to the coverage at hand for a few moments. I want to talk about some Hall of Fame inductees. In 2013, Scotty Wynn was inducted to the Hall of Fame. And for some reason, the notes I had about him are not on my paper. So I'm gonna come back with those fun facts in just a minute. I want to talk about the winners at the Wynn. We're trying to, cover this different series that are going around town. And so I wanted to give a little shout out to Matthew Perry, who won $106,000 when he defeated 300 players at the Wynn Summer Classic 2200 PLO event on June the 7th. Then Tony Miles was a winner at the Wynn Summer Classic. He took down the $1,100 No Limit Turbo for $34,000. Congratulations to both of those winners over at the Wynn. Brian, are you back with us?
Sort of. Is that any better?
It is not, but keep on trying. I know it's probably gets frustrating, doesn't it?
I lost my headphones yesterday, and I need to see if somebody turned them in.
Oh, no.
Mic, then the audio dies. So I might be MIA this morning. I don't really have another solution here.
And now, are you just on your phone by itself right now?
Yes.
Oh, that's not even working for you.
Well, yeah, it never does. And then my if I plug in my mic, then everything goes away audio wise. So
right.
I probably got to finish up getting ready anyway to head out. Joe's going to pick me up here in 15 minutes. And I'm packing the guy a lunch, Sherry.
You're such a good gent. Yeah. Well, have a good day. You're playing at what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. We wish you luck. And are you, what do they get down to? The top 15% or 12% or what to move on to day 2?
Yeah, I haven't seen where they're stopping, but 15% or so many 22 levels, I think it is.
Okay.
So
All right. And
getting
Brandon,
down to like 100 and some odd players, I know. So
asked yesterday if somebody could multi-bag or surrender their chips. I did look at the structure sheet, and it doesn't note that on the structure sheet, so I'm just going to say no to those questions. But again, please ask somebody maybe at the sign-in, the registration desk, just to verify that information. But I could not find anything that said you could. So, and
yeah.
typically it is on the structure sheet. So just wanted to follow up on that. Brian, we wish you well.
Thanks,
Team
Gary.
Software will be cheering you on as well as everybody else that's around.
Have a great rest of the day, my
Good
friend.
luck, Brian. And don't
Thanks,
forget your
Donna.
banana.
Let's go. I'm
See you
packing up some bananas.
as we speak. The
Hey, and
bananas are being loaded.
I'll check the lost and found box here in Michigan and look for your
That was
headphones.
very helpful.
Poor
Always,
Brian. He
always
lost his
depend on you.
headphones. That sucks.
Hey, Sherry, can you ask
Hey, it could have been
Wait,
worse. It could have been worse. His head could have been
Fats,
in
hold
there.
on. Go ahead,
if
Brian.
Matt
What?
comes back, I won't mention the player's name, but you're probably going to know who I'm talking about. Matt probably would if we mention the player's name. But anyway, there was a player in a triple draw hand we talked about yesterday.
Right.
And he showed one card at the end and then mucked. And
Right.
then the other player went into the muck and turned over the hand. And the player who mucked was outraged that the person would go into the muck, probably a little rightly so. But I can't get a straight answer to this guy as to whether he, by the rules, was supposed to turn over all of his hands. I don't play triple draw. He acts like I'm the one that's like, absurd.
I can answer that. So what the rule is in place that on an all-in, you're supposed to expose all the cards so that there can be no collusion. And what happened was he had 4 to a 7 and drew one card 3 times and drew queen, and king or something like that. And the bottom line was after the third draw with the 2 people chasing him, when they turned their cards over, the one guy made a queen and then the other guy made like a jack or something. And all he had to do was make any card to beat the queen or a jack, and he drew a king, and he was so disgusted, and he showed the king and then threw the rest of his cards in the muck. Now, he says he had like 4 to a 7, which I would believe him. It was Allen Kessler we're talking about here. And the person wanted to know what his hand was and went fishing for the card. Now, by the letter of the law, you're supposed to turn the hand over, but by the spirit of the law, you're not supposed to ask to see the hand just to, try to shame play or something like that. And he clearly showed the king, so there wasn't any kind of evidence. It couldn't have been collusion or anything like that.
How do we know that he didn't have another king in his hand? And he was like just dumping his chips, like that's the reason the law there.
Well,
my thing is, if it's a rule, just because you got caught speeding this time doesn't mean that it was right. That it was wrong that you got caught speeding. Like the guy
well,
wants.
and don't you think the dealer has a major part in this to make sure that things are being done properly? Maybe we could ask Matt Savage. Do you have a chance to answer this question?
The dealer is supposed to protect the muck, so the hand should have been shown. But of course, Kessler's going to face a little more scrutiny than other people because he's a guy that always wants everybody to follow the rules, and because he didn't do it, it gives the permission for other people to do it. So that's the reason, Sherry.
Yep.
And my point, Matt, was like he shouldn't be arguing. He's breaking the rule, so he shouldn't be like the other guy. Yeah, he shouldn't go into the muck. But like, you're not standing on solid ground either. Just because it always happens doesn't mean it should happen, every time.
Right.
The game was deuce to 7 low, so once a queen is shown as the best low, once he shows a king, there's no way he can have the best low.
Unless he was chip dumping and he had a king in his hand.
It doesn't matter if he has a king in his hand. The queen low is the best low.
Right, but if
once he shows a king, it's over.
And he's just calling all the way with, the king in his hand, and he gets another. I mean, I guess he could.
Yeah, but if he was chip dumping, he could have just folded
and not shown anything. He showed he had the loser.
Yeah, I don't think Allen's a scumbag. Like I said, it feels funny to argue that you're right here when you were breaking the rules.
Well, I kind of feel like that's what we're doing right now. We're arguing that we are right here. And honestly, to me, and I don't play that game, but just in general, when somebody is conceding the hand, that's not angling. He's conceding the hand. And we see it all the time. People do that. And now I understand, yes, it's an all in. We should be able to see all of his cards. But, sometimes, and we all do it. I've done it. We all do it.
You're breaking the rules and you're mad that somebody is, you're
breaking the rules back.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not
No, I
right.
totally agree. And to me, the dealer should have made sure, A, the cards were turned over for everyone to see, and B, that no one reached in the muck and turned over any cards. To me, the dealer had responsibility to make sure that hand ended properly. There was an all in, so the dealer should have been protecting the muck as well as making sure Allen's cards got turned over. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying here.
Allen's position is kind of like, this happens all the time. Why, and he went into the muck. That is not a thing that happens, but
they're both wrong.
But according to the tweets, he didn't go into the muck.
The other guy supposedly went into the muck.
Nobody went into the muck. He said the cards touched the muck, but he didn't go into the muck. The cards were clearly retrievable as which ones were his hand.
Yeah, but as soon as the cards touch other cards in the muck, they're in the muck.
No, that's a fake rule.
No, there is retrievable out of the muck.
I didn't say they weren't retrievable. I just said they became part of the muck once they touched the muck.
No, that's not a thing.
Matt Savage. Hold on. Matt Savage. I'm not sure if Matt's working right now, so he may not have heard that exchange.
I am, but I am hearing you. Yeah, the cards are retrievable,
right?
If they're not entirely in the muck, and
right,
another player shouldn't be doing that.
But when do the cards become part of the muck?
When they're entirely buried and they're not identifiable or retrievable.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So 2 wrongs don't make a right, and there were 2 wrongs in this instance, and here we are.
Yeah,
the right thing to do there would have been they each should have gotten a penalty.
Yeah, but if you're out of the tournament, what does it matter if you have a penalty?
They can apply it to the next. They can apply it to the next tournament.
We're never doing that. We're never giving
Allen Kessler, right? Savage.
But definitely would have a conversation with Mr. Kessler on this one. Only because, like I said, if he wasn't the guy that's always up there trying to withhold the rules himself, then you kind of just let it go. But and then he did something the day before that I don't know if you guys heard about, where he drew a seat at a table, went to the table and did not give the receipt to the dealer, and just sat there and let those 3 guys sit there and wait, because they're supposed to be playing 4-handed at the start of the tournament. So these guys waited 30 minutes waiting for him to take his seat.
So is there anything similar to the, you have to immediately, when you're switching tables, sit down? Is there anything in the TJ about, once you're given a seat, you have to immediately go there?
No, but once you do go to the table, you should be taking your seat. You know what I mean? If you walk to the table and walk away, now the World Series has a rule that you can actually get unregistered from the tournament if you don't take it. So in this case, I know Allen wasn't doing that, but if you go to the table and you got 3 killers sitting at the table, you may just decide to not play that tournament, which I think is pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't understand why, why did I, and they may have called over, the floor. I don't understand why he was allowed to do that for 30 minutes. If I was at that table, I would be like, the floor needs to come here and make a decision, but we have 4 players. He's refusing to check in. And when is that a thing?
Well, I have to say this, not that he's right, but I do think there's definitely a management issue on the part of the tournament that they've got games. This is 3 hours or 2 hours late registration or longer, and there have 4-handed tables when there's 8-handed tables in the tournament. So there should be a better system to getting those tables going.
Well, you have to wait for
I
people
think
to
that's what's the protest. Why do I have to play 4-handed and everybody else is still playing 8-handed or 9-handed?
Well, and I think at this point in time, the powers that be have devised the best system to get those new tables going. And at some point, you're only going to have one person at that table. Why? Because it's a new table, then 2, then 3, then 4. To me, I think it would be much better, of course, for the player if it was 5-handed or more before they had to start play. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense. But again, we're trying to get those tournaments started. And again, it is an $800 tournament at the World Series, so that table's going to be full up soon enough, right? So
Absolutely.
the fact that it took 30 minutes is kind of a little strange. But I
Yeah,
think
I don't understand that.
That just means that they're doing things randomly. It means that some tables are getting full faster, and it just so happened that table didn't get full. I mean, so I don't put that on the staff. I put that on, maybe the person that's watching him just sit there and not take a hand. But he should have definitely been talked to about that.
Well, and somebody brought this up to me this morning. I have not had a chance to research it because it was literally 5 minutes before I came in the space. But somebody brought up that Vanessa Kay had tweeted that she had never seen the fouling before. She was sitting at a table and they were bringing in a new player. The new player, when he approached the table, noticed he was in the big blind. So he pretended like he was looking for another table and walked around until the button passed him or got to him in the big blind. And then came and sat down. And when they called the floor, he actually was penalized for doing that.
Oh, shit on that.
So
that was a new player, or that was from a broken table?
I don't know. I was hoping somebody else had heard about that this morning.
Yeah, if it's from a broken table, I completely support that decision by the floor to give the guy a penalty. If he skip the blind on purpose, dodging the blinds on purpose, to me is a big infraction, and I'm glad that those get penalized.
Absolutely. And I was happy to hear he got penalized as well. I don't have all the details. Like I said, I just heard about it. Somebody had called me and happened to mention it. And I was like, well, damn, I don't have time to look into it. But I was actually hoping some of our listeners may have already heard about that and can come up and shed some light on that situation. So ASG, that's a hint for you. If you want to look at that and come back, if there's any additional information, that would be great. Matt Savage, before we get on to other stuff, and while you're still available, tell us where you're at, what you're doing right now, because it sounds amazing.
I'm in San Remo, Italy for the WPT Prime Casino San Remo. It's a beautiful place. If you've not been to San Remo, it's a great place to be, and happy to be here. We're on day 2 of our WPT Prime. We're down to 35 players, and we're trying to get down to the final table. So
that's very exciting, and happy anniversary to you and the missus.
Yeah, that's not until November, but I just said that because we're in a very near location to where we got married in Monte Carlo. So if you've not been to this area of the world, it is definitely worth a trip. And there's a lot of great things to do here, and for sure a lot of great food. I've already gained at least 5 pounds.
Hell yeah. Tell us how the Savage Average tournament is taking off.
Well, everybody that's used it has loved it. I'm excited about it. I think we're going to do one during the TDA summit that's coming up. That's on the 29th and 30th. So if anybody out there has not yet signed up that would like to, if you're a tournament director or card room manager or dealer or even players, some players are getting invited to be a part of that. if you have some input that would be good for our TDA, be happy to have you there. And it's going to be at the Poker Go Studio, June 29th and 30th. And I'm excited about it because I'm very well prepared. I've been working on the PowerPoint for the last few days, and a lot of interesting things coming up.
This came up the other day, and I really could not remember. Where was the first Savage Average tournament held?
The first one we did was at Thunder Valley Casino.
It was Thunder Valley. Brandon was right. And honestly, I thought it was out of the country first. But did you do it twice at Thunder Valley?
You know what? You're right, Sherry. They're right. They were done out of the country. That was the first one that I was at, with Thunder Valley. They did one in Germany, and they also did one in Australia before I had even run one. Both with very much success, and they're actually running them every week in not only Eastern Washington, but down in Australia as well.
Yeah, which is where I had a great chance of playing it in Eastern Washington. And I tell you, I highly recommend it to everyone. It was a blast. It's a great format. It just brings a different flavor to playing a tournament. I loved it. Many that I know love it too. So
it's easy. It's easy for me to say I finished third in that event, and it's not as easy for you to say because you did stone bubble it.
I did stone bubble it, but I just had to bring this up because you remind us of what movie you get residuals for, please.
It's a movie called Lucky You. If you haven't seen it, it's starring Eric Bana, Drew Barrymore, Robert Duvall, and Matt Savage.
And let me tell you, at the tournament in Eastern Washington, he made us watch that movie on the screens in the room. He had that thing playing. All of us were subject to watching that movie, which is fabulous, by the way. Fun movie. I definitely recommend. It's part of poker history now. But I have to say, we were all locked in this room, captive, and we had that on. I must correct myself, on one of the TV screens, which I thought was funny.
Yes, Robert Downey Jr. was in that, Michael Shannon, but the big names were me and Drew Barrymore and Robert Duvall and Eric Bana.
I love it. Now tell us how, I hope you still have some time to do this. Tell us how it came about that you and Linda and Jan Fisher wrote the TDA rules. How did all that kind of develop?
That was in 2001. I was playing tournaments back in the Bay Area, and I ended up going to the World Series to try and start an organization that would standardize the rules around the country and around the world, and was kind of shot down. But luckily enough, I was good friends with Linda and Jan, and Linda was running her World Poker Industry Conference, and because of that, I got invited to be a part of that, and we had our first TDA summit at the Orleans in 2001, and it's grown into a worldwide organization that basically every major tournament in the world uses. We've got now a Poker Stars representative on the board, Toby Stone and Jack Ethel, and Neil Johnson from Asian Pacific Poker Tour, and just a lot of great things going on with that. And I'm excited about this one. It's our 11th TDA Summit on the 29th and 30th of June.
I love that. And, you and Linda and Jan have certainly paved the way for all of us in the poker world. And where would we be without those TDA rules? And, I think it's amazing that not only you, but the entire poker industry is willing to look at those rules every other year. And of course, in between as well, if something is imminent and urgent, and reevaluate and try to make changes for the better. And you guys are always willing to listen for input, and you always ask for input. And I think it's important that we keep evolving. And the only way to do that is through that input. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, make sure you check out all the stuff I've been posting on social media lately. A lot of stuff in advance of that TDA Summit. And if you look, there's some pretty hot topics like cell phone use of the table, people wearing masks at the table and facial coverings, and other things like last time we were digging into the little PLO ruling, and just a lot of hot topics that will be coming up at the TDA Summit.
Awesome. Don, I'm going to go ahead and let you ask your question or comment.
Yeah, Matt, have you got your towel with you?
I don't have it with me. It's in Las Vegas, so it's displayed in my closet where I will see it every single day. And I love my purple towel. Reminds me of Sherry.
Well, I'm glad at least you think of me at least once in a while. And what Donna and Matt are referring to is Towley made an appearance when I saw Matt in Eastern Washington and Kennewick at the new poker room there. And I made a Towley and presented it to him at that poker tournament. So it was kind of fun because for those that may not know, Matt is Towley. We know Matt is Towley, and of course, Matt thinks I'm Towley. So, but now he's in possession of Towley, so I think that argument is settled. But anyway, um, I wanted to ask you, Matt, tell us about your involvement with the WPT. How long you been with them?
Well, I just found a lanyard from the season number 11. We're on season number 22 now. 23 or 22? 22. And I've been with the World Poker Tour basically since season 1 because I had an event season 1, 2, and 3 of the World Poker Tour. So in some respect, I've been a part of the World Poker Tour since its inception. And we've been doing a lot of things over the last few years that are really exciting, and hopefully they continue, like the WPT Voyage and, of course, the WPT Championship. And we are a worldwide tour. So I'm over in Italy now, and we're doing a lot of things internationally. I'm excited about that. And we've been pretty much every single continent that you can name, and it's been great. It's been a great ride, and happy to be a part of the World Poker Tour.
Well, we are happy you are because you make our lives easy and fun because of your hard work, and we appreciate that. Can you tell us if you could change one thing in the poker world without it being Allen Kessler, of course, what would that be?
I think if I could change one thing in the poker world, I would say probably I would have players be able to pick up their racks.
I love that. And of course, Matt's been running a campaign for months now, reminding us that when you have a rack from your chips, don't throw it on the ground. Please give it to someone, or go set it in the rack holders or on an empty table, anywhere but on the ground, people.
Yeah, tell him about the time he got hit on the head by one.
I think he's heard that about 10 times, but for our audience sake, I was up at Cherokee, North Carolina, playing a tournament, it was a nightly tournament. And I was waiting for a table, I think. Anyway, I was sitting at a table by myself on my phone next to a full table. And obviously, somebody handed the rack to the dealer, and the dealer decided to throw it over his head. And he didn't know I was sitting there, and it hit me on the head. And
Yeah.
that was about a week, I think, after Matt made his first tweet and about, taking care of the racks. And I was like, holy shit, I just got hit in the head because of Matt Savage.
Yeah, the dealer shouldn't be throwing racks. Actually, I made that video, and that is the first X when you see it. Don't throw the racks across the room.
I think it was
quite
targeted.
funny. Had a player thrown it, I might agree with you, but everybody knows there's probably no one in the world that would ever do that to me. But anyway, ASG, what you got for us?
Yeah, sorry, I had to switch to my headset. But yeah, also a question for Matt is, I don't know if you've been following, there's like a bit of a controversy recently regarding late registration, and just wondering if you had any ideas, not a TDA question, but how to solve that. Like, do you maybe make late reg not be during, like, that you can't register during the break so that they have time to make the tables, or like, yeah, how do you make it so that there isn't a large period after late registration?
I haven't caught that argument or discussion on social, but I do know that I would like registration to be shorter. I've been trying to make inroads in making that happen, and even with the Savage average, like we talked about earlier, that only has 2 hours of registration, but I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. You're saying people are registering on break?
No, basically the registration is taking a long time, the late registration. So then people who were technically online, so they were able to late register, are not being seated until like a half hour after late registration has closed, and that's giving them like a huge EV edge.
Well, and
I
they're
see.
saying it's part of it is because they have to get verified and then they got to get to their seat. So it's just a delay in the process, right? They're registered by the deadline, but by the time they get all the background, logistics done, they get to the table 20, 30 minutes late.
Yeah, and like I said, I've always been a fan of if you have a registration time, and if you're in line to get registered for that tournament, some tournaments are much busier than others. As long as you're in that line by the time the registration period is over, I want everybody to get a seat. And we've also had situations where, the tournament's just too full and you can't get people in until after, and so that happens. And so I guess I would be on the side of whoever that tournament organization is. If those people are registering, getting into those tournaments and buying in, I think they should get a seat. So I don't think they're doing it on purpose to try and get that edge, but maybe they are.
Well, and they did say in some of the tweets along the way that they are monitoring the line and they are cutting it off at the time registration is supposed to be closed. So if you were in the line if registration closes at 7 and you were in that line at 7, you're going to get registered. And anyone behind that 7 o'clock cutoff time is not getting registered. And the problem is just the logistics of getting them registered, finishing that line out. They have to be verified, blah, 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 get the seat assignment, then walk, 10 miles to their seat and 20, 30 minutes late, here we are. So I don't think there's ever going to be a way to get rid of that personally, but
yeah, and I agree with that. And I think that part of the problem is when you have multiple reentry events, a lot of times people will bust out and then try to get back in that line, knowing people are still in the line that were trying to register before that. So as long as they're keeping an eye on that, I'm sure they're doing it correctly.
I agree. Go ahead, Fats.
Yeah, my understanding is that the problem is that the pros have been lobbying to extend it to the point where they get to they want to be able to late register directly at the final table.
Fats always coming in with some craziness over here. Oh, Fats, what can I say? Matt, what would you say is your biggest achievement in the poker world? What do you see or admire about yourself and one achievement that you've accomplished in the poker world?
Well, besides starring in Lucky You, I'd say probably my second biggest accomplishment is starting the TDA and being able to maintain a spot in this industry for 30 years and try and avoiding pretty much every controversy. It's tough to do. When you're in this spot, you avoid a lot of conflicts, and I don't really have many enemies in the industry. Just a couple that about. BJ Nemeth, who's holding his hand up in front of me, is saying that he's an enemy, but he's not. He's a good friend. And a lot of people just being able to be in the industry and be a good liaison between our tour and the players and our partner casinos. And, it's not easy to do all the time. You meet and come across a lot of different people and a lot of different situations. And to hold your integrity high, I think is important.
Well said. And guess what? We celebrate you for that. We want you to get the Hall of Fame nod because of all of your accomplishments in the poker world. And you continue to contribute in very important ways, not only through your TDA work and that continuing to evolve to include more around the world, as well as those rules evolving as time goes on, but you coming up with a very innovative structure for a tournament, the Savage Average. I mean, who even sits down to do that kind of thing anymore? Only people that love the game, have a passion for not only the game, but the players, and want to provide us with something new and fresh. And you do it for us, and you do it for yourself, but more so for us. And you should be in the Hall of Fame. And hopefully, this will be the year. I know that many in this room agree with me. And I am happy to support that, as well as Brian and Donna. And Brian, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that Matt, you know, I mean, having all of the tournaments that go on and what went on during the poker room, all of this poker boom, where all of a sudden you had all of these people, and then you guys made these big adjustments to try to deal with the masses, and really people underestimate. Like, I'm sure it's a nightmare to try to figure out to have dealers that can deal the right games at the right time. You got to have a table available. Then you got to wonder how many people are going to show up for any given event, and what time the breaks are going to be. And there's like all of these variables that it's easy to show up when something doesn't go right and be like, oh, this should be better, right? But like you just don't see like all the things that you guys have had to do to to make things flow smoothly over the years. And every year things have gotten better, and the TDA and all of that is a key thing in poker. Like, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because before that there was, I mean, at least there's something to point to now, right? Like, before that everybody just kind of made up their own rules, and you never really knew what the rules were. And at least with the TDA there's some kind of structure there that you're getting. So I'm with you, Sherry. Matt is definitely a no-brainer. He should be in. And I think that your stance on it, Matt, of like an industry person and a player, these are two vastly different things, and I actually think it should be, and I don't know if this is what yours was, is you know, a player, an industry person, and then a third one that could be either. I think would be a good way to go every year. I don't know, what was your thought on that, Matt? I can't remember. I think you were something
Well, first of all,
like
I still
that.
have a beef with your Twitter handle, but besides that, we'll move on from that. I think that I always felt like I wanted to get in, the way that everybody else did. I do think they should take two people a year. If they'd done that, I've definitely finished second the last few years, so I would have been in already. Obviously, there's a lot of great and well-deserving people that are coming up to be in the Hall of Fame. I think it's something that's just being an honor to be nominated 8 times already, like I have. But I do think that it's one of those things that they're not. It doesn't seem like they're willing to change that system. But along those same lines, I would like to say that the WSOP, for as massive as it is, you get a lot of things right. And unfortunately, a lot of players seem to just criticize, and don't give them enough credit for all of the great things that Jack and Ty Stewart and their team do with the World Series. So it's a bit unfortunate. I think if anybody else was ruling over that beast, they'd face the same kind of issues that they're having. So it's a handful. It's a big responsibility, and I think they did a great job for what they're doing. But that being said, I'd love the opportunity to be again nominated, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's a lot of great people that are out there now and today that deserve to get in. So we'll see what happens.
Matt, I want to ask you about, we've heard all kind of stories of players abusing dealers way back when. What's, Stu Unger spit at one, Puggies hit one. We've heard all these rumors, allegedly what players did to dealers back then, how they treated female players. Tell me how that evolved to where we're at today with the absolute protection of our dealers.
I'd like to think that I had a hand in that. I've been a big, strong proponent of not abusing dealers since day one. When I started as tournament director of the World Series in 2001, I went around to problem players and basically went up to them and confronted them and said, "You're not going to get away with abusing the dealers like you had in the past." So I would like to think that I had a big part of that. I'm happy that it's gone the right direction. I think, like I said, the World Series, WPT, all of the casinos around the world have done a great job at reducing that. And I think that hopefully that it'll be completely extinct at some point. And, these dealers that are dealing in the summer in Las Vegas, there's a lot of tables going on, a lot of tournaments going on, and a lot of the people that have dealt the World Series for many, many years got full-time jobs, so they aren't able to go out there and deal the World Series. So I think that, if you treat those dealers a little bit more kindness, a little more patience, it's going to be good for everybody. And I would love to see that happen. And, it's unfortunate when I hear these stories of dealer abuse still happening today, but I think that as an industry, you've done a great job of curtailing that.
We've come a long way, baby, as that old commercial said. It really bothers me as well when I see a tweet like we have the last couple of weeks. There's been probably 2 or 3 tweets about, support the dealers. Remember, the dealers are new, be kind to the dealers, help the dealers. If we want good dealers, they have to start somewhere. And being new to dealing is where they're starting. And so if we want good dealers, we got to help that newbie become a good dealer. So I'm all about that. And I'm sure everybody in this room is as well. And I appreciate you approaching those abusive players and putting them in their place for sure, holding them accountable. Fats, I don't know if your hand is up again or it was just stuck up from before. Do you have
It's up
another
again.
question or comment?
It was up again.
Go ahead,
Now,
bud.
my question when Matt said he spent 30 years avoiding controversy, was that a reference to ducking calls from Kessler?
Yeah, I have him blocked and I've had him blocked for a few years now, so it's been great. He likes to try and get my attention, and unfortunately, it hasn't worked in the last few years. So, it is what it is. I think that, like I said, he's got his place in the industry. He's, he is respected by his group of minions, and it's one of those things that the poker world's better off with him in it. As a player, that's for sure. So I hope that he has some success at this year's World Series of Poker and everywhere else he's playing.
Hey, as a side note, Matt, you probably didn't hear this, so I'll use your skill and expertise. Kessler was asked what would he make on him winning a bracelet this year, and what odds would you put on that?
400 to 1.
I mean, look, if you go by the do factor and the amount of events he plays, man, it's a tough one. I mean, he's 0 for what, 20 years? So I would say,
And he has four second place finishes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's probably 8 or 10 to 1. How about that?
Wow, that's what Kessler said he should be. About 8 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about right.
Everybody thought it.
Matt,
I know if he had to bet with me, he'd try a lot harder.
Savage, hey, Savage, you'll be happy to know I am going to change my Twitter name for real this time, just for you.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
I love that. Now, Matt, we know that you host a lot of golf tournaments and golfing events. How did you get started with that, and are any of them for charity?
So I have been running golf tournaments. Last year was my 29th annual, and I've already sold out my 30th annual, which won't be till next May, which is going to be at Pinehurst in North Carolina. And I started off as a charity event. That's when I was living in the Bay Area, and I did it for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, a charity that I still personally support. But it has become more of a non-charity event because when I moved to Vegas many years ago, I didn't find the right organization to partner up with. And as I am now, I guess I should, because I am on the board of this charity series of poker and do a lot of things with different charities like Tiger Jam throughout the year and the World Poker Tour Foundation. So I guess I could partner up with them again, but it just would have to be one of those situations where the time was right. And now that you say that, I'll look into it again.
I love that, and I hope you do. And St. Jude's is always a great charity as well, but the ones you listed are amazing charities as well. So, but I think we've we all love PPE here in the spaces and miss him dearly. And I posted under one of the tweets about your your last golf outing that I was actually looking through the pictures thinking of, okay, is PPE there this time or what's going on? Was I the only one? Come on, you guys admit it.
Well, I don't know. I think didn't you
I
have a
miss
bet with Sats
PPE.
about staying off Twitter for some amount of time or something?
It'll be interesting to hear that story in the end, and I'm sure our paths will cross eventually, and we will get the whole lowdown on that story. But it certainly has been a fun thing for us, a little bit of folklore here in the spaces, right?
Did Matt just bring up me and him in a bet again?
I think he was being general.
I didn't hear that. I'm not sure.
I love it. So, Matt, tell us what your next stop is after Italy. Where do you go next?
I am going back to Vegas. I'll be there for the month. I have some events coming up at the Wynn, the World Poker Tour. I also have 3 charity events, one on the 13th and the 14th and the 3rd. One was Cop for Kids on the 13th. We have the 3 Square Food Bank on the 14th. And they've got those 2 dates backwards. And then Shannon Elizabeth's charity on the 3rd. Going to Linda Johnson's Wednesday Poker Group on the 26th. I have the TDA on the 29th and 30th. I have the NHL draft to watch on the 28th, where the San Jose Sharks have the first pick. And I have a very important day, my wife's birthday, on July 1st. So I've got a very busy month ahead, and I'll be out at the Wynn for our trifecta events, our high roller events later in the month as well, and in early July. And I plan on playing a couple events as well. I don't know when or where. Matter of fact, I haven't even looked at the schedule because I don't want to miss anything or feel like I'm missing anything. But I will look at that schedule when I get back.
Wow.
Wait, did you say Shannon Elizabeth tournament?
Yeah, she's doing a tournament on the 3rd.
Of 3rd of what, July?
Of July, yeah.
Oh, that's it. I would go to that if I was out there.
Definitely will invite you out if you're out.
I love that. I love the fact that you stay busy like the rest of us, Matt, and still have time for family, like your son just graduated, your wife's birthday. You know where your priorities are, and some may forget it, Brian, and we have to remind them from time to time.
What are you talking about? I'm still listening. I did not ever play this shootout.
I know. I said we reminded him and talked him off the ledge. And
I got up at 4 a.m, played like crap yesterday.
Oh, smallest violin ever.
First world problems in the poker world.
By the way, Matt Stout is the charity guy, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Anybody else? I sat at a final table with Matt Stout, Mike the Mouth, and then myself. And they got up to go to the restroom, and then the family of one of the players came over, and they're blaming me for everything that those guys, because they were, as you can imagine, they're both a little loud. So.
And you got in trouble. The quiet kid got in
with
trouble.
The mom. He's like, "Could you guys keep it down over here?" Oh my god.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Madiselle was calling her son a wimp. You're a wimp.
Ay. That's not a good look.
He finished 10th. He finished 2nd, I mean.
Wow. Anybody else have any questions for Matt? Come on up, request that button, hit the request button on the bottom left, and you can come ask Matt any questions or give us any comments or whatever. We're happy that Matt's had a chance to join us. Him and I have been going back and forth trying to get him on a space so that we could talk about him and why he is so overqualified to be nominated and inducted to the Hall of Fame, because you guys know I firmly believe that, and I know many of you do too, and we just need to get people to know him a little bit better, and what he has done for us, for the world of poker, and what he continues to do. Why isn't he already in there? It's mind-boggling to me. Hopefully, they will start rewarding or inducting 2 a year, one industry person and one player. I think would solve the problem, and we could get some of these much deserving industry people in the Hall of Fame as they should be. So if you have any questions or comments for Matt or anybody else, please feel free to request. And Matt, you have anything you'd like to add?
No, just that, like I said, if anybody's out there listening that could possibly show a reason to be at the TDA Summit, I'd be happy to have you there. And it's going to be a couple of days. It's not, a lot of laughs and stuff like that. It's serious business because we're, talking about an industry where there's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake all the time. So we take it serious. I take it serious, and I hope that we can, have a great summit and have some good things come out of it that will help the industry and help the poker players and, make things more standard across the board. So all those things are coming up. Ante first versus big blind first, and that big debate's going to come, and electronic devices at the table will also be a hot topic, and like I said, face coverings as well. So there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be diving into, and there's probably going to be some heated debate. Let's just say that. But I'll be around Vegas, so if you are out and about in Vegas, look me up, say hello. We'll have a drink, or just say hello, and would love to meet all of you.
I love that. And I saw that Brian dipped out. So good luck to him. He's got to get to the tournament. And ASG, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I was just curious, because, I stopped playing tournaments for a while. Did the big blind ante cause the antes to be such a part of PLO tournaments now? Or is it, was there not the same spot in the timeline?
Yeah, I think that antes and PLO's a new trend. It's something that has been there probably for about 3 or 4 years, but I think that it creates some different dynamics in tournaments. And to be honest, PLO tournaments are not the best format of PLO. PLO's best played in a cash game, in my opinion. It shouldn't necessarily be that way, but I think that having antes and tournaments just adds a little different dynamic, and I think that players like it. I mean, PLO players, as it is, are action players. They like the action, they want the action. So having an ante on top of it provides even a little bit more. PLO tournaments get super deep at the final tables because there is so much action up front, and I think that is something that's a trend that's probably here to stay.
Thank you for that. Go ahead, Donna.
Matt, I just wanted to say thank you for December, for welcoming me to the WPT, to the VIP area, whatever it is, 15 or 51, I can't remember. It's been that long. It seems like a lifetime away.
Yeah, I wish I could have got to more events from the Spaces group. Obviously, it was a very busy time for me, but happy to have you out, Donna, and hope you'll come back again. I mean, I know that you really went after it when you were out here. You were partying.
Not so much partying.
Lies, Donna, lies.
But you do owe me a karaoke session.
Yes, I would definitely like to be a part of a karaoke session. I am an excellent singer. Let's just say that.
I can't wait. So next time I'm out, Matt, Ellis Island date.
Oh yeah, and one more thing. If you haven't had a chance to see Lucky You starring Mad Savage, please make sure you head to your nearest theater. Now showing on Amazon Prime. And see something else because
You got to stream it.
And you can see it, and it's even cheaper to buy it than rent it, because if you watch it once, you're going to want to see it a bunch of times.
I love it. And I could just say that, when you go to something Matt's hosting, be sure to know that somewhere on a TV screen, that movie will be playing. So prepare yourself to watch it, and it's for Matt's own good. I'm bringing up Ryan. We've been trying to get you up here, Ryan. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, everybody. First of all, I wanted to say I met Matt probably, oh Lord, 16, 17 years ago, right after the big boom out at the Commerce when he was hosting an event. And Matt, thank you for being so pleasant and welcoming at that point in time. And then every other encounter going forward always is pleasant. And as a former official in basketball, I know that's not an easy hat to always have to wear, where you have to be so welcoming and pleasant to everybody, because you have bad days also. And whether it's a decision you have to make in an event, or somebody from the media who's in the wrong location, or you're up against a time crunch, there's so much that goes into what you do that people don't know behind the scenes. And so being so welcoming is such a great attribute to have. So kudos to you on all that. Because I know that's a job in itself, my friend.
I do appreciate that, Ryan. It really is. It's, there are some down days and up days in this industry, that's for sure. But I like to maintain a good attitude because, look, I've been on the other side of the table. I know what it's like to come in and play these things every day. And I have the utmost respect for those guys that come and play these tournaments every day. And, it's been kind of like a partnership between me and those players for many, many years. So I appreciate everything you're saying. And I hope to be doing it for a lot more years. So we'll see how that goes.
And I wanted to give a little shout out to the club that opened, the poker room that opened in Kennewick, Washington, where I had the chance to play the Savage Average tournament. It's Desert Bluffs Poker Room in Kennewick, Washington. So I did want to make sure we covered that name and got that out there. It's a great poker room. It has a little Italian restaurant right next door that allows them to put out a menu in the poker room, and they bring the food over, and it is delicious. So they got quite a nice setup there. I highly recommend that poker room.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Ryan. Oh,
Hey, Sherry, is that poker room in Washington? Are they still pot limit? Like you can only raise so much. I know Washington had some interesting legislation on the betting.
It really depends on where you're at. Tribal casinos can have limit and no limit. Card rooms can have limit, but they can have no limit tournaments. So it gets a little tricky. Donna, were you going to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to Ryan Beauregard, Executive Director of Poker at Wynn Las Vegas. Welcome to our chat, and I hope you're doing fine.
Yeah, they're running a little series over there too. Sherry, you should probably put that name up there once in a while too.
Well, I'm going to tell you,
great things going, and I tell you, Ryan and his team, Ray and Andy, those guys, honestly.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
And tough to beat that room. And during the summer, I'm telling you, the best seat in any poker room is in the Wynn.
Well, and we love the Wynn Poker Room, and every day we have shouted out their tournaments for the day. And I know you weren't here earlier, but I shouted out 2 winners that they had in recent days, as well as we had Andres on, who won a tournament at the Wynn a week ago. And he came and spoke to us about winning that tournament at the Wynn. So we definitely are covering the Wynn as well as other venues around Las Vegas. So I'm going to invite him up and add him as a speaker. And as soon as you can hear me, Ryan, go ahead and hit that microphone button and join us in the conversation. Hey, Ryan.
I'm happy to say that Ryan's going to be at the TDA Summit. I begged and pleaded for him to be there. He does some great things with the mystery bounties and the milestone satellites that are really revolutionized the industry. So I'm happy that he's going to be there to discuss that and some of the procedures that go along with that. And especially, just because he's such a major force in the industry, I think that it'd be great to have him at the TDA Summit.
And let's face it, he's definitely running one of the best rooms in Vegas, and more people should do what he's doing. So welcome aboard, Ryan. press that little microphone button in the bottom left of your screen.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sorry, guys. I didn't pop in to hijack Matt's. I was just enjoying the time listening while I'm actually waiting for my seat over here at Paris Green to take my one shot of the summer. So I just thought I'd say hi. I appreciate all the kind words, but we're going to get started up here in a second. So thanks again.
Thank
Very
you for
best of luck.
thank you
you,
for
guys.
joining us, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll keep listening for sure, but have a great day. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, and good luck. Take
Thanks.
it down so we
Bye-bye.
could be announcing your name tomorrow.
I don't like my chances, but at least I'm here. Thank you.
Hey, enjoy, Ryan, for sure. If you guys are anybody that's playing today, good luck on the felt. I'm jealous because I'm not getting a chance to play today, and I'm a little jealous right now. I might get to go tonight, but we'll see. Anybody else have questions or comments for Matt? Donna, stop laughing at me. My whole world is around my new grandbaby and the new parents is my whole world right now, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Donna, would you like to add any questions or comments?
I'm too busy laughing. First of all, Ryan, thank you for coming up and speaking briefly. I hope that you run deep. Matt, I'm living through you vicariously with all your worldly travels, and I think you are a wonderful human being. You treat everybody so kindly. You can tell me to piss off if I get on your nerves. It's fine. I understand that. You know me, Matt. You can say anything. It wouldn't upset me. But I just want to say thank you for being so generous with your time. Thank you for doing what you do in poker. Because without people like you at the top that listen to players and understand players from a player's perspective, then I don't know where poker would be right now. And
I really appreciate that, Donna. Thank you. That's very nice. I do appreciate
well,
that.
you know, I don't sugarcoat bullshit, Matt. You know me. You've known me long enough.
Yes, and I got a follow on today from Yvonne Montalegre on Twitter, so I'm very excited.
When are you coming to Malta?
Been to Malta, but I want to go back, especially because Yvonne keeps inviting us out there. I will make that happen in the next year and a half, I promise.
You better do, because I love Malta. Malta's my second home. So yeah, it'd be great to have you out there and show you the island and show you Portomasso and all my family out there, like the dealers and everything. It'd be amazing, Matt, to welcome you both there.
That sounds like a fun trip. Look out, Matt in Malta. Ryan, I want you to tell us, you mentioned in the chat you're going to be on stage somewhere. Please tell us about that.
Oh, it's karaoke, kiddo. It's Sunday night. What a good way to... I'm rolling into town in about an hour. I'm driving down from Salt Lake. I had to see my investors up there, get some cash, and for the series. And, well, you know what? I'll come in, relax, just walk around the poker room today, just see if I see some old faces, and then tear up some karaoke tonight.
All right. So you guys, if you're in Vegas and you want to karaoke tonight, go meet Ryan and sing away the night.
Ryan, what's your favorite go-to song at karaoke?
Oh boy, well I used to work on Carnival Cruise Lines, so I used to be a singer. I would probably have to say anything by Journey, because I just get the crowd all fired up, and they can't believe that those notes can come out of me. I mean, I'm 6'6", former athlete, so it's don't judge a book by its cover. And I really like to look at the crowd and see. I mean, Matt could probably attest to this. You want to get everybody fired up, not sing love songs. We're out there to have some fun, so let's have some fun.
Absolutely.
Matt Savage, what's your go-to song?
I was just about to say the same.
I'm not going to give it up. I'm not giving it up. I gotta do it live. You know, so you'll be surprised.
I love that so much. We will make that happen at some point.
Yeah, I've definitely got to be there for that one.
I love it. Donna, what's your go-to song?
I don't know, to be honest. There's so many. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
All
It's been a
right.
long time since I've done karaoke.
All right. Don't forget you owe Neki a dance and a karaoke.
Oh, I know. I owe Neki a dance and a karaoke too. Yeah, I haven't forgot about that, but yeah, bless him. I didn't hear what he said, so because it was a bit loud.
That's all right. You know now. Easily corrected, right? Easily corrected.
Of course it is. Of course.
Fats, do you do karaoke?
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and her dress cut down to there. She would merengue and do the cha-cha. And when she tried to be a star, Tony always tended bar across the crowded floor. They worked from 8 till 4. They were young and they had each other. Who could ask for more? At the Copacabana. That's enough for you.
Little Barry Manilow.
Just lure you guys in with that.
Good thing we'll be drinking.
I'm famous in Costa Rica with that song from about 30 years ago.
ASG, do you have a go-to song? It's hard to follow that one. ASG, he may be working this morning, even though it's Sunday. But ASG, if you want to jump in with your karaoke favorite song or go-to song, let us know. Oh, Fats coming in strong with a little Barry Manilow on this Sunday morning. Welcome to the Spaces, people, where today we're really not covering much about poker, but having lots of fun doing it.
But sometimes I think it's nice to take a day off poker and just have fun and just not be serious.
Well,
I mean, we know.
Motto, but you know that's not the motto around here, Missy.
I know it's not the model around here. We can always correct it, can't we, madam? We can always correct it.
I love it. Fats, did you say something?
Yeah, I was talking to the computer. I mean, it's there. You take a shot and you shove all in with ace 4, and you're lucky enough to get called by pocket 3, so you still have 2 overcards and can't get there. It's very, very depressing.
Well, don't let it get to you.
I mean, if you had ace, if you had pocket queens and the other guy had ace king, they always hit. Yeah. So
I hear you. You know, one day not too long ago on a New Year's weekend, I hit 3 boats, and those 3 boats were beat by quads all 3 times within like 6 hours.
I went down to a marina one day with a baseball bat and hit 3 boats.
Let me tell you, I was not a happy camper, but I still managed to cash that tournament unbelievably. So
the boat owners weren't happy either.
Yeah, right. This lunatic over here called Fats. We just kind of
I gotta make Donna laugh. I hear that evil laugh over there. It's
I'm gonna say, who sunk your battleship, Sherry?
Who sunk my battleship? Go ahead, Ryan.
I like hearing everybody's bad beat stories, because I just roll my eyes. We've all heard thousands of them. The one that really sticks with me, though, the most, which I was a part of, is I lost quads to quads at Salamanca Casino in upstate New York. This is early 2000s, and it was a 5-10 no limit game. Huge pot, and the bad beat was $250,000. But our table didn't qualify because we paid time. It wasn't a rate game.
Oh, that's a bad beat.
I lose the. Yeah. exactly. I was like, man, you would talk about a kick in the
Ouch.
teeth. That's how
You
I
should
felt.
get
Yeah.
there should be a jackpot for that, for hitting the bad beat and not qualifying for it.
Ouch. That's terrible. Okay, you guys. Something that's become some fun in the spaces in the last few days is when I do trivia questions. So I'm going to mute some mics because of background noise, so don't take offense. But let's do some trivia questions, and um, if you know the answer, just let us know it. And it's just for fun. Please don't Google it. That would be cheating, like Donna.
Asimov's not here. Isaac's not here. If
Yeah,
anybody
you're the
wants to
number
come
one
up to,
cheater, Miss Google. She has sidekicks in the background Googling for her. But anyway,
he's playing on the PlayStation right now. So if you want to come up and join in the fun, you're more than welcome to request.
yeah, come on up.
And
We're going to do trivia. And it's not for prizes, it's just for the fun of it. I've come up with some questions and seems to be a crowd favorite. So if you love trivia, poker trivia, no Googling allowed. It's just for the fun of it. And we're not going to make fun of you. Well, maybe Fats. But anyway. So, all right, here we go. Question number 1. What 3 venues have housed the WSOP since its inception? What 3 venues have housed the WSOP? I'm going to let Real Fats go first.
Binions, the Rio, and where it is now at the Bally's Parish.
Incorrect.
All right. Good job. Good job.
Incorrect. That's incorrect.
All right, go ahead. Tell us why it's incorrect.
Because it was not Binion. It was Binion's Horseshoe.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think
Correct.
I'm talking about?
You said Binion. You didn't say Binion. You didn't say Binion's Horseshoe. The difference.
Correct.
Binion's downtown.
Correct.
What other place could I possibly been talking about? Are you kidding me?
The
No,
name of
we're
the place
giving it
was
to you.
Binion's Horseshoe.
All right, we're making
We're
fun of
giving it
people
to you.
now. We're gonna go
No,
start calling that chicken crap on the questions.
no. Remember, I said we're only making fun of
No,
you,
this is
Fats.
war
We're
now,
only making
Sherry.
fun of
This
you.
is all out war.
oh
There's
shit!
going to be a spaces
Perfect.
tribunal about this trivia question
Perfect.
later today. I might have to
Perfect.
put Omar
What
on
is
this case.
No, thank you. Here we go. Here we go. Question number 2, and that was only one question. It took 10 minutes. But anyway, what is the average age of the last 15 main event champions? The average age of the last 15 main event champions. I'm going to let Jonathan have a stab at it first.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Say 30 years old.
Okay, Matt Savage, you're next.
I'm going to say 28 years old.
All right, Donna.
I'd say 34.
All right, Ryan.
27.
All right, Fats.
That's not fair. You can't go really on either end of that. What was I'll go 35, but it's got to be a loser.
All right,
Watch it be 18.
ASG. If you're still listening, I know you're probably busy. But I don't want to skip you, so I'll give you a minute. And he must be busy. The average age is 29. So you guys were all around it. All right. What player played the game? I'm sorry. What player never played the game? Received a 5-minute tutoring session from Howard Lederer before she walked inside and played Deuce to 7 low ball event in 2000.
I had the answer before you.
I know you would. And won it. Who is it, Matt?
Jennifer Harmon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jennifer Harmon had never played the game. She got a quick lesson from Howard, went in and won the tournament and won her bracelet, which I think is amazing. I don't think anyone could ever do that today because there's just too many in the competition, but that's my personal opinion.
Wait a minute. Helmuth did the same thing with Miami John in a stud tournament.
Okay, well, we were talking about a deuce to 7 low ball tournament.
All right, but I mean, it's the same concept.
Okay, there you go. Two-part question. Since 1970, WSOP has awarded more than how many prizes, like a dollar amount? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Let me start that again. Two-part question. Since 1970, WSOP has awarded more than how many prizes, how much, oh my goodness, if I could just read, has awarded more than how much in prizes? Give me a dollar amount since 1970. And I'm going to say it's not millions. So we're going to just start with that. So, Matt Savage, you're first. Go ahead, Matt.
I have no idea. I would say, I don't know. I'm not sure. $1 billion.
Okay, Ryan.
I'd say 2.7 billion.
All right. Donna.
Because that's 54 years, then you're talking like about 4.5 billion.
Okay, Fats.
I'll go 2.8 billion.
All right, Brandon.
1.5 billion.
All right, and welcome, Brandon. Did I miss anybody? Did I say Jonathan?
1.6 billion.
Okay, perfect. 3.8 billion. The second part of this question is how many bracelet events? How many bracelet events? Brandon, you go first this time.
Wow. Hang on. Let me think.
Fats, how many bracelet events?
Maddie, I'm doing the math in my head now.
2,500.
Donna, go ahead.
We're looking at 50 years.
No, 54.
Donna, give us your guess. Well, Matt, Fats is doing the math. Give us your guess.
2,600.
All right, Matt Savage.
1784.
All right, Jonathan.
1,400.
Ryan.
1,500.
1,900.
Fats.
1,500.
I'll smell the burning smell. That's
I'll
Pat's
go
thinking.
2,800.
After all of that math, he came up with 2,800. It's 1,700.
Hello.
1,700 bracelet events. Matt Savage was the closest, but if we're going by Bob Barker rules, he went over by a few, but still the closest.
Oh, look who's here. Look who's just
Are we
coming.
playing The Price is Right, or are we playing...
All right, here we go. Which female poker player has voiced many characters for Nickelodeon, including Chum Chum in Fanboy and Chum Chum? Let me read that again. Which female poker player has voiced many characters from Nickelodeon, including Chum Chum and Fanboy and Chum Chum? Anybody? I'm just going to let you come up and answer. Isaac, go ahead. Welcome.
Jennifer Tilly.
Nope. Good guess.
That was a good guess.
Anybody else? I'm just going to wait for you to answer because I know this is a tough one. I happened to be able to meet her a few years ago and I've kind of followed her ever since. Go ahead, Isaac.
I'm just keeping my hand up for the next question. I'm mad that I missed the earlier.
This cheater is back again.
Hey, ain't nobody cheating. Stop it.
All right, whatever. All right.
I'll go Shannon Elizabeth.
I just finished my haircut.
It is Nika Fetterman.
Nika Futterman.
She is a delight. She's an absolute delight, very talented, and it's amazing how many voice overlays she does. She's a very talented young lady. All right, which poker player is nicknamed Dark Horse? Jump in if you
Wasn't
know
that Donna?
it. No.
No,
Wait,
mine's Dark Angel, my darling.
Oh, okay. I know it
Dark
was
Horse is
close.
something totally different.
which poker player is nicknamed Dark Horse? Matt Savage, you should know this one. Who's typing in Google as we speak? I just can hear the keyboard, even though no one's microphone is on. I can hear the keyboards clicking now. So, Dark Horse is Todd Brunson.
Katy Perry plays poker.
Yeah, it's Todd Brunson. Is nicknamed Dark Horse, which I'd never heard of that before. How many fountains make up the Bellagio Fountain Show? How many fountains make up the Bellagio Fountain Show? I'm going to start with,
53.
what'd you say, Donna?
53.
All right. Isaac, give me a guess.
I'm gonna go with 33.
Brandon.
47.
Sean knows this, by the way. Sean knows this and is down there laughing at all of us. I
Of
just want to put
course.
that out there.
All right, Brandon, what'd you say, bud?
47.
Thank you. Ryan? Jonathan, do you have a guess?
24.
Pat, do you have a guess? Matt Savage, do you have a guess?
I'm going to say 42.
54.
Over 1,000 fountains make up the Bellagio Fountain Show.
I'll go a little higher then.
Isn't that crazy? I thought that was surprising too. And what an amazing show they do with that fountain at the Bellagio.
Hold up, how many?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. That's
All right, Matt Savage, I'm leaving you out of the answer of this one. You can't answer this one, Matt. And Don, I should probably disqualify you too. Who is nicknamed the First Lady of Poker? Who is nicknamed the First Lady of Poker?
Jennifer Harmon?
No, but that's a good guess. Anybody else?
Annie Duke.
Brandon, you have a...
Yeah, okay.
Vanessa Phelps.
Annie Duke.
No, good guess.
I'll guess
wait.
Snoop's favorite player.
Wait, who's say that again?
I'll guess Snoop's favorite
Go
player.
ahead.
Oh, no, just kidding. Just trying to think who it could be. The First Lady? I don't know. That sounds like somebody who's like married to the president of poker.
That's that you know what? That's a good one. I mean, that's a tough one though. The First Lady of Poker. I'm like, if it ain't Jennifer Harmon, who goes way back, I don't know, Maria Ho?
No.
I was just hoping. Sorry. I love Maria
No,
Ho.
that's okay. And I'm going to let you off the hook. It is Linda Johnson, who worked very hard in the poker industry. She still does. She helped Matt Savage write the TDA rules. She is very involved with the WPT. She helped get Poker Gives Charity started with Mike Sexton. And she is considered the First Lady of Poker, Linda Johnson. And just so my pal Sean knows, I saw you trying to request, but I was not going to let you up because I knew you knew the answer and I was trying to give a little history lesson on that one. So come on up now, though, so you can be in on the next question, Sean.
He's going to come up and say, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know better.
I'm glad you disqualified me from that question because we're dealing with sausages.
Yo.
Yikes. Yesterday it was pickles, today's sausages. What game did poker evolve from?
Oh, I know this one.
Everybody's qualified to answer. Go ahead, Isaac.
It's from a French game called Poké, right? And Poké, they would try to like say it in American, right? And it ended up sounding like poker, right? But it comes from a French game called Poké, which essentially means to bluff.
Oh, interesting. Now,
Oh,
this is not at all the answer.
I got to guess.
This is not at all the answer that came up for me. But that's
Came up
interesting.
from where,
Well,
Sherry?
just a minute. Let me hear what Fats has to say.
All right, this is real simple because it the current form of the game, the way people play, conforms to this name, and the game is Go Fish.
Fats coming in hops
Yo, that's why I
with
love Fats,
nonsense.
yo. That's why I love Fats.
Okay, so when I was doing some research, it said that poker evolved from dominoes.
Oh, nah.
So that's
Google's
interesting.
lying. Google's lying to you, Sherry. Don't let them.
Well, and this was kind of a trivia site that I was on. But Isaac, I'm going to let you research that for us for tomorrow. Okay.
Wait. The pizza company named.
No, the
Fats,
bones.
don't
The
make me
bones,
remove
Fats.
you, Fats, with your nonsense. We're having a
Yo,
serious discussion here. Don't you
this
know?
is why I love this is why I love Fats though.
Of
No,
course.
but Sherry, I
Well, there is Pai-Gow dominoes and Pai-Gow poker. So.
Well, I'm just telling you that, Isaac, I'm going to give you that assignment if you don't mind, because
I
now I'm
got you.
interested.
No,
Uh,
I got you. When I learned this, it blew my mind because I was like, oh word. I was like, apparently it was something that the French aristocrats used to play, right? And then when they took over, or when they had
right,
Louisiana, right, they would
right,
start playing it on the steamships, and that's why we get the term the river and the turn as well.
right.
Comes from all
Well,
that.
did it start out way before that? Did he evolve from dominoes is the question.
I'm like, but what version of dominoes was they playing in the 1600s,
Dude,
right?
don't ask me. Don't ask
Wait.
me. But
The
they did have the bones, though. Didn't they play on bones, the or tusks?
Yep.
So I don't know. But
term
I'm asking you if you don't mind.
the term river came from where all the fish were swimming.
I love it. Sean McCormick, welcome. Do you have anything to add to this nonsense?
Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, my good friends. No, I came up and you rightly didn't let me up because I was just going to tell everybody put some respect on Linda Johnson's name. So I was immediately coming up to scream her name, and I knew that's why you wouldn't let me up here. Secondly, I've heard the same thing Isaac has, that it's a French game that came to Louisiana when, there's a huge, obviously, migration of the French in that Louisiana area, and that's where the game was born, and the United States, or the American version of it. And so at the end of the day, it looks like we can blame the Euros for poker. At the end of the day, the Euros brought it to us, and we can just blame the Euros for everything now.
Thanks a lot.
Yo, real talk. And it's funny too because I've heard French people when I've played French players, they'd be like, "Oh, you perverted our game," and I'm like, what the hell you mean I perverted your game? And this is how I came to learn this, and I'm like, y'all so possessive, man.
I'm gonna get super nerdy for a second, but that's why the character in X-Men Gambit is based off a guy that throws cards, because
he's from Louisiana,
and he's from Louisiana. He's from the Bayou where the French Quarter was and where the game was born. So yeah, they kind of use that nerdy part of the comic book to say this is a card player, and obviously he's one of the most badass mutants out there. But yeah, I'm off the mutant thing. Go
Man,
back.
Sean, you're my kind of nerd, bro.
Oh, I'm super nerdy. Don't get me started.
No, you my kind of nerd.
love
And yo, for extra points, Gambit's real name is Remy LeBeau, y'all.
Sure
Remy
is.
LeBeau.
I love it. Go, guys, go. All right, next question. What do the letters MGM stand for? Sean, you're disqualified. What do the letters MGM stand for?
Metro Golden Mare.
All right. Are you Googling?
Never. I watch MGM movies. It says it at the bottom.
Isaac, come on. No Googling.
No Googling. I am
All
Google.
right.
I am the Google.
All right. What was the name of the club that mobster Bugsy Siegel operated in 1941? The name of the club that Bugsy Siegel operated in 1941.
The Flamingo.
No, Matt Savage. Maybe you know this one. That's a tough one.
Hold on. You mean like a club? Oh, okay, hold on. Copacabana?
Oh, he must have heard your song this morning, Fats. Anybody? What club? Brandon, how about you? You got an answer for this one?
No idea.
All right. Jonathan, how about you?
Las Vegas Club.
Oh, good guess. It was the Northern Club. He operated the Northern Club. Which casino cost $630 million to build in 1989?
The
Which
Mirage.
Are you looking over my shoulder right now?
No, I'm just good at
I
this
was
stuff.
gonna
I
say
love
Mirage.
Vegas and I love poker, yo. Like, I'm a nerd. Sorry.
He's typing really fast because I didn't even get to reread the question. But you're absolutely correct, Isaac.
Yeah, you can't even say he's Googling it because he couldn't have Googled it that fast.
He can't type that fast.
I'm saying though. Come on. Thank you, everybody.
You can't type that fast.
Yeah, he never Googled once, and you've been accusing him of cheating this whole time. It's just not true.
Well, guess what? It's my show, and that's what I'm going to do. And I also,
You shouldn't go after somebody's integrity
I
ever.
also have been accusing Donna for cheating, and she only cheated once too. So there you go. That's what happens when you ruin your own reputation by cheating. Now you're labeled a cheater. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, and Isaac never
Yes, he
cheated.
did the other day.
No, he didn't ever.
Isaac,
Ever.
Isaac, would you tell him you cheated the other day, please?
Hey, I only double checked my answer.
No, he said he Googled after the question, after the answer and stuff was going on. That's not cheating.
ASG, he cheated. Remember, it's my show.
No, he didn't.
Cheated.
No, he didn't cheat. He didn't cheat
He
ever.
cheated. Isaac cheated.
He didn't.
Why you get so
Isaac,
mad?
did you ever
Why
cheat?
you get so
Because you should never insult somebody's integrity by accusing them of cheating when they're never accused.
ASG, we're having fun, dude. Don't take it so to the cuff, dude.
I
All right,
appreciate
next
you, ASG,
question.
for you know. I
Rumors become facts.
Well,
appreciate you.
Isaac, have you been insulted by us calling you a cheater?
Absolutely not, because I know I'm
Okay.
not, so I'm good.
Okay, so there we go. So 300 of these take place in Vegas on a daily basis. 300 what?
Divorces.
Oh, good guess.
Marriages.
Yep, weddings. Good job, Brandon.
Not going to be mine.
Probably end up in 300 divorces.
Well, I can't say you're disagreeing. I disagree. It's going to be, what is the average? 100. It would be 150 because 50% end in divorces, right? Is what they say.
100% of the reason for divorce is marriage. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yo.
All right. Which spacer is known for his appearance at the WSOP ladies event with a bunch of his buddies all dressed as women?
Sean Deeb.
Sean Deeb.
Easy.
I would say the real Fats.
And you guys got it right. It was Sean Deeb. Yes, indeed. So that concludes our trivia for the day. And what fun questions those were.
By the way, that MGM question, you got that wrong. That was, you gave the old, what MGM used to stand for, not what it currently stands for.
Go ahead, Fats.
I'm listening.
Most gamblers mistreated.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh my God.
Disrespect to
Sean,
though.
shots fired.
No.
Shots fired. Go on, because I'm already having his wheels and his battery. What you thinking?
Sean, you better stand on business here.
Sean, would you like to reply?
No, I don't. I don't have to converse with non-guests of ours. So no, we're good.
No, that definition was changed when they with their internationally or throughout the states with their sports apps. It has to do with the way they treat sports
totally
bettors.
kidding with that. I'm totally kidding with that. I don't care what he says. But technically, MGM no longer stands for what. So he's kind of half right here. So the original brand was named after the filming company when Kirk Kerkorian owned, but we have no affiliation with Hollywood or anything like that anymore.
Right on. All right, you guys, got to get on to the daily coverage, as in the winners and the future winners of the WSOP events. And then we'll get on to what's going on around town so everybody can get out and play some poker if they're in Vegas. The event number 20, the Gladiator, finished the day yesterday, and there's the last flight is today before they move into day 2 tomorrow. Giovanni Ocampo of Colombia is the top of yesterday's flight as far as chip stacks, with just over 3 million. Thomas Ussum of the U.S. has 2.7 million going into day 2, and David Goin, I think it's Goinier of the U.S., it has 2.5 million. They're all moving on to day 2. I wanted to give a little shout out to some that are still in the mix. Moving on are my friend from Texas, Lorraine Weiner. She has 305K. Sean Deeb has 365,000. Barry Greenstein has 525,000. Olga, and I have no idea how to pronounce her name. I'm going to spell it Lermolcheva, has 830K in chips, all moving on to day 2. And I saw Sean gave us a wave, so he needed to get on with his day. I'm glad he stopped by and had some fun with us. Event number. Say that again, Donna.
So just said thank you to Sean.
Absolutely. Event number 21 was the 25K high roller no limit. There are there are winners today. Breck Shudden of the U.S., who is an ICU nurse, took home the $1.4 million last night, and he was heads up with Tyler Staffman of the U.S., who took home $938,000. I watched that for a few minutes on Poker Go last night. I actually fell asleep to it. But those guys were really battling it out, and I would highly recommend going to watch that heads up battle. Event number 22 was a $1,500 deuce to 7 low ball triple draw. We had a winner, Aaron Cummings of the U.S., had 146,000. I'm going to spell it. I'm assuming it's a gentleman, is from Japan. His name is Yuichi. Last name is Kanai. He took home 95,000. Our girl and 2019 WSOP Dealer of the Year, Heather Elkhorn of the U.S., took home $43,984 for her 4th place finish. Event 23 was the $1,500 shootout no limit. Daniel Seapol is in first place with 2.8 million in chips. Alexander Fahari, I think that's how you say his last name, has 2.4 million in chips, and so does Daniel Strelitz. They're tied for second, and so is Eli Amaden, I think is how you say his last name. They all have 2.4 million in chips. There are 16 left in that tournament and 1,534 entries with a $2 million prize pool. Right now, they're all guaranteed $15,027. So good luck to those final 16. Event number 24 was the 10K pot limit Omaha, high low 8 or better. Robert Tanita from the U.S. has 2.9 million in chips. Mr. Semino from Brazil has 1.8 million. Tyler Brown from the U.S. has 1.7 million. There are 13 left. We started out with 259 entries. There's 2.4 million in the prize pool. Min cash, well, let's see. I'm sorry, 13 left. So I'm sorry, I don't know what they're guaranteed at this point. In event number 25 is the 3,000 no limit six-handed. There were 248 entries, 76 remain. The prize pool is 662,000. Brian Tate is in first place as far as chip stacks with 327,000. Alex Keating has 306,000. Florian Pace of France has 294,000, and Jason Daly of the US has 265,000 in chips. First place is guaranteed 148,000. Min cash is going to be a little over 6,000. Some notables still left in the field would be Eric Seidel, Eric Mizuraki, Helmuth, and Josh Aria. So anybody have any comments on all of those finishes and things that are still going on? Hearing no replies to that question, go ahead. Go ahead, Fats.
Sorry, I'm sorting tea.
No worries. I just hate to move on and somebody wanted to say something about, one of those things.
I was just going to say it's good to see a non-pro win a bracelet. You said the guy that won the bracelet is the ICU nurse?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, the heads up battle is just fun to watch because you could tell that, that they were trying to make great decisions and they took their time, and it was just fun to watch. And it was two people that I'd never seen before, knew nothing about. And I'm always for that, as well as you are too, from what you just said.
It's always, yes. I always like to see the stories of guys like that, that aren't pros, and he has a day job, and for him to win 1.4 million in a bracelet, I mean, that's always a good story.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And he was so humble. Both of them were so humble and just great attitudes. Fun to watch. Definitely fun to watch. Today at the MGM, there is a 10 o'clock PLO mystery bounty, $500 buy-in, 250,000 guarantee. That's flight C. At 6 p.m. is their $240 no limit double green chip bounty, 20K starting stack, 10K guarantee. Over at the Win is a no limit hold'em tournament at noon. $1,100 buy-in, has a 250,000 guarantee. No, I'm sorry, a 100,000 guarantee. I'm sorry. Let me get a paper because this doesn't have any lines, so it's hard for me to follow over. It's a no limit $1,100 buy-in. It is a 250,000 guarantee. Then at 1,800 hours, they have a no limit turbo $1,100 buy-in. That is the 100K guarantee over at the Win. I'm so excited that Ryan joined us, and hopefully he's doing well at the table. And we will be able to talk about his big win tomorrow. Over at the Orleans, they have a no limit Sunday special, 60K guarantee. Starting at 11 o'clock, $200 buy-in. At 1,800 hours is the no limit super stack, 20K guarantee, $200 buy-in. Over at the Golden Nugget today, 11 o'clock is their chip bounty PLO, 10K guarantee, $340 buy-in. At 1 o'clock is their daily deep stack, no limit, 30K guarantee, $200 buy-in. At 1,900 hours, they have the cheap and deep, no limit, 20K guarantee, $140 buy-in over at the Nugget. Cheap and deep. That's the first time I read that. Over at the Venetian today, 11:10 a.m. is their $800 no limit ultimate stack, 100K guarantee, $800 buy-in. That's over at the Venetian. Over at the Aria today, oh, they don't have one today. They must be having day twos because it went from June 8th to June 10th on the schedule. So they must be having like day twos today or something. There's not a new tournament starting at the Aria today. So that's what's going on around town. Now let's look at the WSOP and the schedule there today of bracelet events. 10 a.m. is the $300 No Limit Gladiator. Flight D, good luck to especially Software Brian, who's playing in that today, as well as anyone else. 12 p.m. is the $1,500 No Limit Shootout, Day 3. 12 p.m. is also the 25K No Limit High Roller, Day 1. 1 p.m. is the 10K PLO 8 or Better, Day 3. 1 p.m. is the 3K No Limit Six-Handed, Day 2. And 2 p.m. is the $1,500 Big O, Day 1. 3:30 is the WSOP.com online tournament. It's $333 No Limit Triple Trays. That's the bracelet events. The non-bracelet events today are the 1 p.m. $250 Poker News Deep Stack, the 3 p.m. $240 No Limit Landmark for 2,000 in chips, the 4 p.m. $400 No Limit Deep Stack Turbo. 7 p.m. is the $1,100 Deuce to 7 Triple Draw Low Ball Landmark. At 8 p.m. is the $200 No Limit Deep Stack Turbo Tournament. At 10 p.m. is the $135 No Limit Landmark for 1,000 in chips. So there you go, folks. That's the whole lowdown of what's going on around Vegas. Anybody want to bring up anything? Make any comments? I'm open. Go ahead, Brandon.
So I looked up that cheap and deep at the Golden Nugget just to see what the starting stack was. I didn't know. So it's 25,000, but on Poker Atlas it says out of that 140, 95 goes to the pool and 45 is fees. That's like 50%. I can't believe that.
Wait a second. That was at the Golden Nugget. Let me pull that sheet up.
Yeah,
Okay, so
the one you said cheap and deep.
Right. So
What tournament was that?
It's $140 buy-in. 32.1% is going to the rake, and it is a 20K guarantee at the Golden Nugget.
Was that No Limit?
No limit.
Yeah, you only want to play the mixed games, and you can go up to 45% on the rate there.
Yeah, Poker Atlas says 95 and 45. That's incredible.
That's insane.
Not great.
Buyer beware, right? Buyer beware on that stuff, folks. You just got to know what's going on and pay attention, because you can't be profitable, if you're not paying attention to everything that's coming out of your pots that you're spending to get there, the meals you eat, and so forth. Go ahead, Fats.
I had nothing else.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Brandon. I think that the more we share stuff like that, the better we are as a community, as well as when decisions and opinions are being asked, we can say, hey, what about some of these rakes? Because some of them are, and I'm going to tell you, I've looked at them the last few years, and unfortunately, the Golden Nugget always is at the top of the list as far as who has the highest rakes. And
how can you have the name cheap in the tournament name and do 95 and 45? That is so far out of line. It's absurd.
I don't disagree. I do
think,
not disagree.
Sherry, maybe you'll know the answer. Isn't, like, even for low tournaments like 140, isn't 20 to 25% pretty standard across Vegas?
No. Well, I'm going to tell you that, like when I look at, let's look at the win. They have a $400, let's say their satellites, a $400 buy-in. Their rake is 15% for that.
That's acceptable, even 20%. But $45 on 95 is 50%. Like, that's just crazy.
On their
No, it's not $45. It's by the way, it's a 32.1%.
Yeah, that's what I said a minute ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying he keeps saying 50%.
It's 32.1%.
Oh, I'm doing bad math. My bad.
That's okay. The Win has a $600 tournament, no limit tournament, 100K guarantee. Their rake is 14.2%. And I'm just going to go through a couple of the ones that I actually have the rakes printed out. The Venetian, let me look at one of theirs. So the Venetian has a no limit ultimate bounty tournament. It's $800 buy-in, 100K guarantee, and it's a 12.5 rake. The Orleans has, let's see, the Orleans has a no limit super stack, $200 buy-in. It has a 20% rake. Then they have a no limit mega stack, $400 buy-in, and that is a 15% rake. Over at the Aria, they have a $600 no limit tournament, 150K guaranteed. Their rake is 15%. They have an $800 PLO tournament. It's a 12.5% rake. We talked about the nuggets. So just to give you a little bit, I really should go print some for the WSOP. If I get a chance today, I'll do that. Those were the only ones that I had actually printed the schedule and they had the rake. I printed the schedule that included the rake. But the nugget always seems for the last few years to always have the highest rakes, if not at number one, at least in the second spot always. So, and it's unfortunate. And, the problem is, they're doing it because they can, because people are playing it, right? If people didn't play it, they'd say, why aren't you playing? And people would say, your rake's too high. But unfortunately, most players are rec players, right? And they don't pay attention to what the rake percentage is. So they fill the seats because they're cheap tournaments. It's plain and simple. I mean, it's marketing, right? They market it with the word cheap. And guess what? I don't remember what the buy-in was, 100 and whatever dollars.
140.
And yeah, 140. And so they market it with the word cheap. And, the novice poker player in Vegas, I'm going to my, the WSOP, but I'm going to go to the Nugget, which is History of Vegas, and play a tournament there because it's so cheap. Even the name is cheap, right? And you can't fault the casino for, advertising and making money. And if the customers fill the seat, kudos to them. I mean, it is what it is.
I got to be honest with you. I never would have looked at what the rake was, but I looked up on Poker Atlas just to see what the starting stack was because it says deep stack or cheap and deep. So I was wondering what they considered deep, right?
Right.
And that was what I wanted to see. If I would have gone if I would have just entered, I wouldn't have paid attention to what the rake was. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like me too. But I just
Well,
happened to be looking at the structure and stuff, and I saw it was 95 and 45. I'm like, wow.
right. And let's think about it for a minute. And, what percentage of the people that are in Vegas right now play poker as a professional, meaning their bills are paid by playing poker? What is that percentage, do we think? Do we think it's 30%, 40%? Do we think it's 20%?
I was going to say 20.
All right. ASG, what do you think?
Sorry, is professional or is recreational?
Yeah, what percentage of the people in Vegas right now, no matter which venue they're playing at, do you think are professional? They pay their bills by playing poker.
5%.
Okay. Well, it's definitely less than 5 at the building.
Oh, it's hard to hear you. It's so windy where you're at. I think I can't understand a word you're saying, ASG. I'm sorry. If you want to try again, we'll be happy.
I said it's definitely less than 5 at the Nugget.
Right.
And probably around 20 at the series.
Right. And Fats, what did you say?
5%.
Right. I think it's probably 15%. Even 20, I think, is a fair guess all across
Nah,
Vegas.
it's not. Never.
And I
It's not
think
that high.
let me finish. I think that's a high estimate, and I prefer to high estimate. Okay, so that means 80% of the people are rec players or even semi-pro. They work full-time but still play for a profit in the poker world, or close to a profit, let's say, for argument's sake. So 80% of the people are rec players. How many out of that 80% do you even think about the rake? I would say probably 10%, if that many, maybe 20% think about the rake and how the rake is affecting them. I think it's very low, is my point. And I brought it up when we started a week or so ago because I think it's important that we do. Andres was in our space talking about it as well. It's part of your cost to play the game. And so if you're not taking that into your cost considerations, you need to start to. So go ahead, Isaac.
I was gonna say out of the 80%, I would say like 1%. I think like if you're not professionally like really counting your wins and losses like that, I don't think you even consider the rakes.
Right. And even if you don't want to be a pro player, you really should focus on the rake because that is money you're not able to win when you're playing that tournament. And you want to win as much as you can. And you need to take into consideration they're taking 32.1% rake out of that tournament today. That is crazy. But guess what? Tomorrow we're going to report probably they had record breaking numbers for that tournament because the folks that are filling those seats are not looking at the rake and how it affects them. Go ahead, Isaac.
The great Kenneth James told me that if something is over 18%, it's just almost not worth playing.
Right, right. And it's unfortunate, but the golden nugget is more times over that than not. And it's a shame. And I wish they would do better. Go ahead, Brandon.
I just looked up the South Point Daily because that's pretty much like the cheap tournament in town.
Right.
The one at 7, one at 10 p.m. for $100. Always the lower tournaments are going to be more rake, right? That's just kind of the way it is. Theirs is only 22%. It's 78 and 22.
Yep.
So I mean, just 32% is just crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and unfortunately, folks are not going to even realize it's that high. They're going to go buy in and play that tournament. Go ahead, Fats.
Also, people don't never factor this in, but the high rake only affects you if you cash or win the tournament. If you don't cash and you bust out of the tournament, the rake didn't affect you at all.
As I said, you want to be able to win the most amount possible, right?
Yeah, but if you're not going to win anything, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead, Isaac.
I was gonna say, what's the rake over at the Horseshoe for their dailies? Because their dailies they don't have that big of a player pool over there. I'm just curious if you know.
I'm gonna have to. I didn't print that one out.
I think it's 22%.
I think you're about right. I think it is. I did look at it a couple weeks ago, but honestly, it was so many pages. I would have had to print so many pages. I was like, okay, but I will do a sample printout so we could talk about it again for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The 135 daily is 22%, right?
How about the deep stacks? Can you look at those?
What time is that?
I think it's 2 o'clock is one of them.
Oh, here it is. 22.5% on a 200 mile.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Fats.
No, I was just saying, my hand's still up from before. But on a no limit tournament, I totally agree on the rake, because in a no limit tournament, the bad players that come in and pay those high rakes can screw you. But in the limit, like mixed game events, like the studs, the bad players aren't going to hurt you. They're only going to help you. So those rakes aren't as bad, and they're still easy to overcome.
Thank you for that. Donna, are you still there, hon?
Yeah. I'm just eating my sausage.
I was just going to say, are you still eating sausage, or what are we doing here? Pickles, sausage, what? I caught her with a mouthful. Anybody, I'm going to start wrapping it up. So anybody have anything, questions, comments, topics they want to bring up before we wrap it up? Here's your chance, folks. All right, Donna, any last words, love?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you to Matt and everybody else. It's been a pleasure, been good fun. And I'm just reeling my friend John Bousfield, who's on the final table, heads up at the GUKPT Leeds. I would have been there if my head wasn't a shed. So I'm a bit gutted, but I'm reeling him virtually on the felt. So good luck to John and good luck to everybody who's playing, whether it be the WSOP, whether it be elsewhere, or whether it be out online. Big Sunday today for everybody. So I hope you make day 2 and make it into a Monday.
Donna, who is he playing heads up against?
James Jordan, I think.
Awesome. Well, good luck to your friend, and we'll look forward to that update tomorrow for sure. And Donna, I wanted to ask you, did you hear anything about why PokerStars is pulling out a check?
No, I forgot to find that out, but just send me a DM and just to remind me, just to jog my memory.
Okay, honey, I'll do it. I appreciate everybody that's joined us today and all of you that will listen to the replay. We appreciate you as well. I also want to give a little heads up. Tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going to probably be a little quicker version of our show. Like today, we're over 2 hours, which is fantastic. You know, we always have fun. But my son and I are going to drive over to Seattle for the Mariners White Sox game on Tuesday. So I will be, and Brian's going to be playing poker, and Donna's going to help hold down the ship. But I'll probably err on the side of shorter shows, at least Tuesday and Wednesday, just because I want to enjoy Seattle with my son. Hopefully, everybody understands that. And have a great day. If you're playing poker today, good luck on the felt. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Much love. Have a great day.
Bye.
You too, Donna. Peace.
Bye.